Hello, first morning, first session of the 2013 Betfair World Snooker Championship. Unprecedented levels of excitement and anticipation ahead of this year's championship. Much of it centering on the return of the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Now, what can we expect from him? We're not sure, and neither, indeed, I'm sure, is Ronnie, because almost 12 months ago, it was here in this arena that the Rocket claimed his 4th world title. But since then, he's barely lifted a cue in anger. And today, he turns up to face the toughest mission of his long career. Can he do it? No one knows.
Even though there was 1,000 people in there, in that arena, and there was God knows how many people watching it on the TV, I just felt that for a certain point, for an amount of time, it was just me and my little boy in that auditorium. That will carry with me for the rest of my life, and in some ways it seemed quite fitting to end it on that note. My final parting was last year, and in some sort of ways I still see that as my way of saying thank you very much. That was the final chapter. Like I said, I had 20 years. And I kind of struggled with my sport, if you like, but I stuck to it. And for me to finish playing the way I did last year and to have little Ronnie there, for me it doesn't ever get any better than that. Even if I won 7, 8, 10 world titles, to me that will be the most special one. The right time to say goodbye, really, I suppose. Because as soon as I stopped playing snooker, I just assumed that I'd run more, I'd be down the gym more, I'd be running marathons in 2 hours, 45 minutes, and it was absolutely the complete opposite. I was laying in bed till 10:30, 11. I was thinking, God, I can't run at this time, I'm normally out the door by 8:30, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, so I kind of just, it was like, I felt like I was just existing in some sort of ways. But then it came to a point where I thought, you know, it's important that I go to work. Whether that's playing snooker, whether it's doing something, I needed to go to work, and you know, things never took off for me because I was looking to do other stuff away from snooker and find a new career, if you like, but it kind of never happened, and I got a bit scared, to be honest with you, and I just thought, you know what, if I leave snooker for much longer, that opportunity to go back might not be there. I'm not overly enamoured about having to come back because I was quite content with my decision. I was happy, but what I wasn't happy with was that I kind of lost some sort of focus in my life, and I needed to get to do some sort of work, and it would need to be something that would bring some, you know, just, you know, it ebbed away at my self-esteem in some sort of ways that I had no income. You know, I felt like a bit, you know, I don't know, it's a kind of a weird, you know, I felt exposed in some sort of way, and I just kind of felt my insecurities all popping up. And I just thought I need to have some sort of income that can pay the bills and just pay my way in life. I've never taken this amount of time off from the game, you know, so I'm really sort of, I don't know what to expect. Talking about me winning it and being a favourite and second favourite, I don't know, mate. I don't know. And in some ways, it's sort of, I think it needs a player to come along and have the confidence to say, no, this is going to be my world title. I forget Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's 37. He's had a year out. He's the oldest world champion there was since Ray Reardon. Why is there no one out there saying, no, I'm the new governor, I'm the new daddy. It's his time's over. They kind of, no one seems to have that confidence to want to grab that mantle. There's nothing left for me to prove in the sport. I'm going back to Sheffield, opening match, And what an opportunity. And what's the worst that can happen? I lose first round. I get beat. I'm number 30 in the world rankings. All right. People say, oh, he shouldn't have played, he should have just stayed at home, he shouldn't have come back so soon. Why did he come back for the world title? But for me, it's more about the journey. You know, it's got me out of bed for the last 2 months. I'll go and get beat at Sheffield and I'll get beat first round. I've had a good 2 months. All right, people will only see the disappointment of me losing the match at Sheffield, but I've had a good 2 months leading up to Sheffield. And then I'll probably have another break after Sheffield, and if I feel like getting my cue out again, I'll get my cue out again and I'll hit a few balls. But it'll be because I want to do it and not because I feel like I have to do it.
Well, Steve Davis and John Parrott know what it takes to win here. You've seen an awful lot in sport, but this takes some beating. How would you describe the mission that Ronnie's on today?
Monumental. I think obviously this is the hardest tournament in the world to win, but when you've not had your cue out of the case for 12 months in a competitive match, this is a huge task.
And what's going to be the toughest part of the assignment as he comes down the stairs today?
I think for any player, first round match, you're just going to focus in on the table, forget all of the excitement and the hype that's whizzing around you. I think that's something that Ronnie O'Sullivan does very well anyway, so I don't think he'll struggle.
Can he win this? And if he were to win it, what would it mean?
He can win it. I think he needs to just get over the first round here. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of rust match play-wise. If he wins, it will usurp all the other four. To not have any competitive matches in 12 months and come and win, it'll beat the rest of them for me. OK,
well, there's absolutely monumental, to use your word, anticipation in here. But, you know, this championship was already shaping up before Ronnie 7.5 weeks ago decided to take part as one of the greatest for many years. So let's just remind you of all 32 in the draw and how they line up. And sharing this journey into the unknown with O'Sullivan is the wily 40-year-old Scot Marcus Campbell. He, like us, hasn't got a clue what to expect from Ronnie today. Twice a runner-up, including last year, Ali Carter gets his campaign underway against 25-year-old newcomer Ben Wollaston from Leicester. One of the players of the season so far, Stuart Bingham, takes on Devon's Sam Baird. He's one of 6 Crucible debutants this time. He's the lowest ranked of the lot. 4-time world champion John Higgins has a tough opener against Sussex pro Mark Davis, who beat him at the UK Champs in December. King of the Crucible in 2005. Sean Murphy taking on the pinner potter Martin Gould, who's won 3 titles this term. Now this one's a repeat of the 2006 final here. Graham Dott meeting Peter Ebdon, and Peter making his 22nd consecutive appearance in Sheffield. Both Matthew Stevens of Wales and Marco Fu of Hong Kong have come close at the Crucible before. And indeed so is the extravagantly talented world number 3 Judd Trump. He met the canny Welshman Dominic Dale in the first round here last year too. Australia's Neil Robertson aiming to become the first overseas player to win the world title twice. The West Country's quick-firing Rob Milkins first up. Chester's Ricky Walden was the first of 10 separate winners on the main tour this season. He's taking on the world number 26 Michael Holt of Nottingham. All-Welsh contest between a star of the 90s and noughties, Mark Williams, and a star of the future, 21-year-old first-timer Michael White. Scotland's Stephen Maguire, with a big title to his name this term, faces Deshawat Pumjang, becoming the 3rd Thai player to feature at the Crucible. Now, as always, Northern Ireland's Mark Allen has had his say in the build-up to the Worlds. Essex pro Mark King making his 14th appearance. Ding Junhui carrying the hopes of 1.3 billion Chinese again against Scotland's former semi-finalist Alan McManus. He's back after 7 years. Aussie Open champion Barry Hawkins taking on one of the most exciting newcomers in the draw, 21-year-old Jack Lazowski. And the world number 1, Mark Selby, tries to complete snooker's rarely achieved triple crown. Romford rookie Matt Selt standing in his way. So as you can see, it's not all about Ronnie. We've got Mark Selby going for the Triple Crown. We've got Australia's Neil Robertson also trying to make history here. Which storyline catches your eye?
The big storyline for me is the bottom half, full stop. I mean, that is the half of doom. That's like winning the tournament in itself, coming through that bottom half. I mean, the top half obviously got great players, we know that. The bottom half looks so hard to win. It's a minefield.
Okay, and of the 6 rookies, remember 5 from the UK, 1 from Thailand. Which of the rookies do you feel could inflict most damage this time,
Oh,
Steve?
that's so unfair. Listen, they're going to capture the imagination of the public. There's some great lads coming through. For me, that is the story, that we're all of a sudden seeing the new blood making it to the Crucible. And perhaps the other side of the coin is the fact that it's a disappointment for the Chinese contingent. There's only Ding Junhui and Marco Fu, and we were expecting to see more and more come to the Crucible.
OK, so plenty of subplots and many storylines to discuss over the next 17 days. But so much to look forward to on this opening day. We're just moments away from live play. But let's just tell you what's on our agenda for the rest of the day. As is tradition, the defending champion plays both sessions of his first match on the first Saturday. A long and intriguing day lies ahead for Ronnie, and indeed for his opponent, the capable Marcus Campbell. This is perhaps the highest profile match of the 40-year-old Scot's long career. Also in action this morning on table 2, Ricky Walden, who won the first event of the season in China and hopes to bookend that season in style as well. But expect plenty of self-expression from his opponent, the endearing Michael Holt. We always love watching Michael play, and we're sure you will too. Then this afternoon, we'll gauge the form of the 2005 champion Shaun Murphy. He's underway against Martin Gould at 2:30. And this evening, 2-time Crucible winner Mark Williams pits his considerable experience against impressive new boy from Nice, Michael White. And very keen to get the first frames of the championship underway from the commentary box, John Virgo and Stephen Hendry. Stephen, I know you were with Ronnie last night chatting about the magnitude of the task he faces today. What kind of mood was he in last night ahead of this task?
Well, we didn't chat 1 minute about snooker really, but he's very relaxed and I think he's looking forward to it. And he'll be excited. Look, walking out here, the Crucible is defending champion. There's no better feeling.
Indeed. And John, obviously so much chat about Ronnie, but the man that he faces, Marcus Campbell of Scotland, is a very wily character. How would you assess his game, and indeed what kind of occasion this is for him today?
Well, it's an occasion where really he's got nothing to lose. He's playing Ronnie, all the focus is on Ronnie, and Stephen won't mind me reminding, a few years ago he beat Stephen in the UK 9-1, so he is capable, isn't he?
He's a much better player now than he was then.
Indeed, yes. In terms of the excitement generated ahead of this championship, what has Ronnie's inclusion done for the profile of this year's event?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's like Tiger Woods being away and coming back to golf. He's the best player in the world and the defending champion, and it would be a huge gap if he wasn't playing here, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays. He's
been installed as the third favourite here, which is remarkable given the lack of practice and indeed the lack of match play that he's had, John.
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, I think it should be 10-1 the field. I think it's the most open championship I can remember. And it's OK practicing, but it's when those Crucible nerves start, you know, the Crucible collie wobbles, as they used to call them, that will be the test for Ronnie, and it'll be interesting to see how he performs this morning.
Indeed. If it's not to be Ronnie, and by the way, let me just ask your opinion, is it possible? Can he come back here having played 1 competitive match in the last 12 months and retain his title?
I think if he did win this, it wouldn't be that much of a shock to me because he's such a good player. It'll still be an amazing achievement, don't get me wrong. No, it wouldn't surprise me too much.
OK, and of the other players very much in the hunt here, we've talked about Mark Selby going for a Triple Crown. That would be an extraordinary achievement for him this season.
Yes, it would, and he's been very solid all season. That's why he's got back to world #1, and he's won the tournaments you mentioned. Neil Robertson, great character, you know, and there's so many players that, you know, you could put up as a winner, but Ronnie to win it would be unbelievable.
It would, and the campaign starts here and now, gentlemen. Thank you very much. You'll be commentating on this match. And indeed, there are 4 players in this opening session this morning, and I know who is absolutely champing at the bit, raring to go, is our MC, Rob Walker. All yours, Rob.
Thanks, Hazel. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This has to be one of the most eagerly anticipated opening days in Crucible history. Welcome to the 2013 Betfair World Snooker Championship. Please welcome, first of all, a player who came through a tough match in qualifying to book this, his 6th Crucible appearance. Winner of 2 PTC events, he's a philosopher, a student, a man with his eye on the bigger picture, and he's seriously fired up for this. From Nottingham, the hitman, Michael Holt. And his opponent, a player who won his second ranking event in Wuxi earlier this season, always travels with noisy home support. A UK Championship semi-finalist hoping to get on a roll here. It's Ricky Walden. And here on table number 1, please welcome a player making his 4th appearance here at the Crucible. He reached his first ranking event semi-final this season, a PTC event winner in Germany from Dumbarton, Marcus Campbell. And finally, please welcome the most naturally gifted player ever to grace the modern game. Winner of 24 ranking event titles in all. We are counting down to the return of the defending champion, because this is the relaunch of the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
What a moment for the 4-time world champion. So often in the past we've seen Ronnie rise to the challenge, but what a challenge he's set for himself this time. Best of 19 frames in this first round, 2 sessions to play today. This is it. Stephen and John, over to you.
Thank you, Hazel. Well, what a reception. I think they're glad to see him back, Stephen.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Typical left-handed break-off. And defending champion O'Sullivan. And the first round's always cagey, isn't it? Johnny, both players will be really nervous, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. He might not look it, but there will be a few nerves underneath the facade. But as I said, with Marcus Campbell, he's a very capable player. Really look forward to this, and if you can't look forward to meeting the world champion in the first match, then play some other sport. So it'll be a very interesting opening few frames. This, we don't know what to expect from Ronnie. What can he produce? Caught that one a bit too thick, and that's why he's not got past, well, not even near the baulk line. So first chance for Marcus.
Yeah, with Ronnie not playing for a year, that's the one thing he won't have had his experience of playing on the cloths in the arena. I know the practice tables, and you can get it as close as you can, but they never react quite the same as in the match arena. Didn't play that too positively.
Well, Ronnie certainly was positive with that one. Not the easiest shot, just to roll it in as he did. But really played this well.
Now, have you got any shakes in your arms with nerves that would have shown up in that shot? lot more difficult than it looked, that red.
8. 9.
And this is what you want in the first frame. To get in around the black, get your cue arm going. And he looks to be timing the ball beautifully already.
16.
2 reds, 2 blacks already, John. That would be a return, wouldn't it?
17.
It couldn't happen, surely. But you never know with this young man. But as you say, so far, getting the cue through nice. Important visit, this. And that's inch perfect.
24. 25.
'Just didn't get the run through there as he would
32.
have liked, so I don't think he can play for the black off the next red. He'll have to go up for the blue, I think, this red to the right middle.
33.
Played it nicely and just about got the right angle on the blue.
38. 39.
'Again, not quite got a nice angle on the black, so I have to pot this with a lot of right-hand side and screw back. Didn't hit that very well.
46.
They have to go up for the blue here.
47.
'Intimated it might be a sign of
52.
nerves, but no sign of them so far. Cueing beautifully and just making it look
53.
so easy. Poor safety shot, funnily enough, that created this opportunity.
59.
Left Marcus Campbell a chance, which he played a little bit hesitantly.
60.
But there's been nothing hesitant about this visit from Ronnie.
$67.
So there you see it, 67 ahead, 75 remaining. That equates to 1 red needed. He would have liked to have been on it better than this, but just the red to go 68 ahead with 67 remaining. Well
68.
played, very well played indeed. Well, Stephen, he's like he's never been away.
74. 75.
No, he's been practicing hard for the last 7 or 8 weeks since he announced he was defending his title. And it shows. He looks very sharp.
82.
Well, just got a bit too thick, but damage done already, and Marcus Campbell stays in his seat. The rocket's back, and he takes the first frame in style.
He's back all right, and we're back in our lovely Winter Garden studio to watch it all unfold. John, Opening impressions of the Rocket.
Well, I told you he'd be rusty, didn't I? I did say that to you. But I thought he'd make the century, actually, the way he was playing. Cued beautifully and made the break straight away. Looking dangerous after one frame.
It is ridiculous, isn't it?
I know, it's going to sound really sad now to get involved in this, right? You're going to laugh, right?
Go on.
If I was Marcus Campbell, I'd have just got up and knocked a few balls in if I'd have had a chance.
Yeah.
Just to get the feel of the thing. But
Yeah.
the modern day way is just to sort of give in the frame. You've had some practice, but it's still nice to knock a few balls in.
Well, you know, Ronnie has been practicing recently here in Sheffield in the Star Academy with the likes of Peter Ebdon. And Peter said, do not be fooled.
Yeah.
This man has indeed put the work in on the table. And if anything, Peter said, and he's not prone to exaggeration, Peter, he says, if anything, he looked better than he had before.
Well, there's one way of looking at it. He's certainly fresh, isn't he? He's not
Sure
no
is.
games. I mean, you know, he's going to be coming here fresher than the field. The one thing you're always worried about is that lack of match practice. But after the first frame, I don't think it's a problem for him.
Okay, defending champion out in front.
Yeah, and the last thing Marcus Campbell wanted was to make a bad break-off shot like that. Caught the end red much too thick. You see the look of disappointment, much too thick. The red came down the table with the cue ball. Nice easy starter for Ronnie.
One.
Just put a little bit more left-hand side on the cue ball there than he would have liked. He played for the blue into the centre. He still got it into the green pocket. Doesn't have to do much for the cue ball. There's a couple of reds that go to the right corner. But I agree with Steve. I think Marcus should have put a couple of balls at the last frame, John, just to settle his nerves.
Yeah, I suppose from Marcus's point of view, it wasn't an easy starter, you know, so maybe if he'd have missed that, then Ronnie would have carried on. It's a difficult one, but yeah, he just played the one pot in that last frame and just a little bit tentative with it. It was a poor safety from Ronnie, and of course that was the end of frame.
7.
And then followed up with a bad break-off shot. Ronnie back at the table again with a good chance. Just overdone that slightly, so he may not be able to play for the black here off this red.
Thirteen.
He had to go up for the blue, and because he was playing with so much backspin, he just short a pace, so wrong side of the blue. But no problem, delightful positional shot. Also got the pace of the table off nicely.
Yeah, he looks to be having fun out there already. That's the whole idea, for it to be fun. He's enjoying it. No better place to be when you're playing well. And no worse place to be when you're in Marcus's position.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about this. As I say, bad break-off shot, left Ronnie with the easy starter, but well, if Marcus didn't know what to expect, like most of us didn't, he knows what to expect now. Ronnie is cueing beautifully. Bit short with that one. But he can run round the back of the black. The black in the same pocket as this red. It's difficult to say. And that's gone slightly wrong. It was just at the time where he needed a good positional shot, because there's no easy red to get on now. Decided he couldn't run through and play for the black in the same pocket, but he's not perfect here. Now, can he get past the pink?
40.
Just about, I think. And a perfect angle on the black. This is wonderful stuff.
48.
And this will be his first long pot of the match so far. Didn't quite get into the cue ball. Tried to bring the cue ball past the baulk line for a choice of colour, so it's a thin yellow if he takes it on. And he is taking it on.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 49.
Well, that's the way he plays the game. He found the perfect angle, forgot to pot the yellow. And he's left the red. Did well to avoid the ping and got the cannon, but he missed the pot on the yellow. Now, this red is potable, but he's so close to the red, he's got to be careful here.
1.
Couldn't do a lot with the cue ball. Couldn't leave himself good on the black. So this is a tester.
You can play this in such a way, though, if he misses the black, he'll probably leave it over the corner pocket. He'll be playing for the red that's away from the bunch into the same pocket. So there wasn't so much pressure on that black. Nicely played, though. This is a decent chance to get
8.
back into this frame. I think that yellow Ronnie took on there, perhaps that was a lack of match practice and being involved in matches. He got down pretty quick to play and it was a tricky shot. But then he hadn't missed a pot up to then, so he was obviously confident.
Yes, and of course the problem is you play a shot like that and you're playing a cannon to bring reds into play. As I say, he got the cannon but missed the pot, so now he's going to have to sit there, and
16.
this is a bit different from the practice table, and it was quite a way off with that yellow. You just wonder if he had a potted it, whether he would have got the cannon.
$70.
Doesn't want to be too straight on this black, because the bottom red will go to the right corner. It will also go to the left middle. And there's possibly one to the right middle. He's just got a slight angle. But he's not played that well. He's asking for the cue ball to be clean, but I think he was trying to play a little
24.
stun run through there just to widen the angle, and I think that caused the cue ball to jump more than a heavy contact. I mean, I know the two balls jumped in the air, but as I say, when you're striking down and you're trying to force an angle, you can get the cue ball leaving the bed of the table before it reaches the object ball. Be a brave man to try and keep this visit going now.
Marcus Campbell, 24.
I think Ronnie can get through to the red closest to the top cushion, but well, he may be able to get through the gap of the green and blue. I'll have to play that with lots of left-hand side just to check it. I don't think it's that safe. I think there's a possible red on here. He needs to be making those. Okay. He's not left the red he played for, but that was an opportunity. and he knows it. Because that's the one thing we know for certain, Stephen, don't we? That if Marcus is going to get a result here, he's going to have to play well. Anything but his best, he's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, he's got to take a large percentage of his half chances. Never mind the good chances he gets. And to say that was in between a half chance and a good chance, that long red, wasn't it? If he potted it, he'd be probably favourite for the frame. This will be the test for me for Ronnie in this championship with not playing matches, is the scrappy frames. I think when he's in amongst the balls, he'll be as good as ever, but it's how he copes with playing these scrappy frames, keeping his concentration, keeping his focus.
Yeah, that's the difference between the practice table. The practice table, you get in, you score, your opponent gets in, they score, set them up again. But yeah, you can have long drawn out frames, which, as you say, you've got to hold your concentration. Where's this red going? It's close to the middle. So close, he's left it. Well, there's no way he could have envisaged that happening. That was a little bit unlucky, in all honesty, but this red does cut. Ronnie already with a 25-point lead. Just needs to be on the colour. He's not certain to be on the colour. He's not certain. I'll be disappointed with that.
Again, similar to a shot he played earlier in the match. Got far too much left-hand side on the cue ball.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Maybe enough in this cue ball that Marcus maybe it'll cut this red in that's closest to the cushion. That's careless by Ronnie if he's left him. No, he's using the spider, so obviously can't get to the cue ball enough.
Yeah, but I think he's looking at the possibility of the cut. Oh, well, maybe he can just get to the side of the cue ball. No, a little shake of the head. The only problem is if you did play the cut into the corner, there you see, Hawkeye shows us it's just not enough of that red. This is very, very difficult, this. He'll do well to get this near the baulk cushion. No, almost impossible. So here's Ronnie's chance to take the second frame. 26 points the lead, just looking for two reds, two colours.
A little bit trickier, obviously, using the rest. It just has to stun the cue ball for the black to the left corner.
Well, you called it right, Stephen. The rest cost him there. And what a chance now this is for Marcus.
One.
Maybe that was the first sign of rustiness, being able to pot that frame ball.
When he got, or just before he got down to play the black, he was having a look at the scoreboard there. As Ronnie can only look on. He's usually pretty proficient with the rest, but the pink will be needed for Marcus Campbell to win the frame at this visit.
9.
Before he potted that red, he was 18 points in arrears. So even if he got the 2 reds, 2 blacks, yellow, green, brown and blue, he'll still need the pink. So it's not a formality.
Could choose, I don't know if he's got the angle to pop the red to left centre and cannon the pink out, leave himself on the blue. And he's looking at the score. He knows he needs the pink. I think that's what he's looking at. I just think the angle's perhaps a little bit thin on the red.
Well, I think he half went for the cannon on the pink, and unfortunately he didn't get the cannon, and he's come a little bit twixt in between here. He's not absolutely perfect on this green. Okay, I know the yellow's at the same end of the table, but slightly hampered by the blue. As I say, it's still that negative thought that you still need that awkward pink. But he's played that well.
20.
Just a little bit shorter pace. You can certainly tell from his facial expressions what Marcus is thinking.
Yeah, he's sent himself great shot, Marcus. That's when he's nodding his head sarcastically.
Going to have to send this cue ball around the angles. You always got to be wary of this shot, that you don't go in off in the right middle. Oh, well, he screwed it direct now. He needs to slow up. And it looks absolutely inch perfect. Terrific shot. But still needs the awkward pink.
Yeah, that was a fabulous shot. Had to avoid the bottom left-hand corner pocket there.
I was thinking there was a possibility that he could leave himself a double on the pink, but he's got such an angle on the blue, surely he's got to try the cannon. He's thinking about the double, but it looks to me stun off the top cushion and try and disturb the pink. However which way he sees it. He's playing for the double.
34.
And that was important that he got the cue ball past the sort of line of the pink, because the pink's so close to the cushion. Now we can play this cue ball as a sort of half safety shot with the cue ball somewhere behind the black.
Yeah, I'd like not to be so close to the cushion. I just feel as though you don't have as much control of the cue ball, but here it is, the pink for the frame. It's there. Absolutely tremendous confidence boost up for Marcus Campbell. Never looked as though he was going to win the frame once he'd give Ronnie another chance. But he pulls it out of the fire with the double on the pink. It's one apiece.
Well, with the maelstrom of publicity, that really did show some character from Marcus Campbell, and it's important to stress his credentials here, Steve, this week, because he's been in the quarterfinals of a major tournament this year and the semi-finals as well. He can play.
Yes, considered by some to be a journeyman in the game, but when you think that at one stage in his career he actually beat a certain person in the commentary box 9-0 in the UK Championship.
Mr. Hendry,
yes, you realise how great a player he is. What an important match for frame for Marcus Campbell, and that was an incredible shot. I think everybody thought that he could probably get that cue ball to the side cushion and then trust he could get around back past the pink and the middle pocket to get back on the brown. But that's a superb win, and to some degree the reason why he got back into that match was Ronnie O'Sullivan was playing so well, he was forcing himself to go for everything because he was getting everything, ended up playing a risky yellow, and gave Marcus Campbell a lifeline.
Indeed. Assess this match from Marcus's perspective, because not seen very often here at the Crucible. Yeah. Huge occasion for him too.
Yeah, I've been here 4 times, yet to win a match here. It's come with a lot more pressure than it would have done, because he's probably thinking, if I've ever got a chance of beating O'Sullivan, this is it. He's not played any matches for so long, and that in itself adds to the pressure of the occasion. I feel, as ever, you've got to score.
Well, both players have indeed done that. 1 frame apiece.
Very nice of Steve to bring back those memories, wasn't it?
It's there in the record book, Stephen. It's going to get mentioned as long as Marcus Campbell is still playing the game.
But as I said at the start of the match, he's a much better player than he was then. Much more comfortable in these surroundings. That wasn't on TV, that match. They beat me, thank goodness.
Nice opening red. It wasn't the best safety shot or break-off shot from Ronnie. But unfortunately for Marcus, he's just the wrong side of the blue. So he's either got quite a bit of work to do with the cue ball, or he just rolls the blue in and leaves himself a mid-distance red. That was the distance of the shot. Right in the heart of the pocket. Trying to force it round, but not really hit this.
6.
You can pot this red, a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. He wants to avoid running into other balls in potting it. Yeah, nicely played.
7.
What a boost he would have got from that last frame, though. He'll be feeling really comfortable out there now. Got his first frame on the board. And be looking forward now to the rest of the match.
A bit too close to the middle pocket than he anticipated. Now, if he can drop this red in, the black is available into the opposite corner, but we saw Ronnie miss a pot with the rest in the last frame. Cost him. But it won't be costing Mark, who's played that beautifully. And now just pop the black, little cannon on the red immediately above the black. And they'll have a choice of reds. And it's a good chance to score.
Played that
18.
confidently. Could have just played a dead weight cannon, but chose to play it with a bit of pace to try and open up more reds.
19.
Now I feel I'll be using the bunch to stay on this red above the black. Just screw into the bunch above the black and screw the white back a few inches. Played it with more pace than I thought he was going to do. I thought he always would have been on the red above the black, but he played it a different way, and now he's on nothing.
Yeah, and the problem with that shot, the more pace you play it with, it just gives less time for the backspin to take effect, and that's why he didn't really get into it as he liked. But this red obviously just passes the black. He'll be going back to his
Campbell,
seat, disappointed.
26.
Didn't make the most of that excellent opportunity. Ronnie getting plenty of encouragement. He plays a good safety shot. I think most people are wondering how his tactical side of his game is going to be. But that was a straightforward safety. But this isn't. Now, Ronnie left with a shot to this corner, black available into the opposite corner. Good cueing needed. You know, the stun these in, a run round of 2 cushions. This is a test of cueing. And quite a way away.
One.
I'll give Marcus a little bit of confidence. The distance that Ronnie missed that long ball by. It doesn't put so much pressure on his safety shots if your opponent's not knocking in the long balls.
Four.
Not perfect on the blue, but just one good positional shot here. I think there's a red in that cluster to the right that will go to the right corner. He can play for the one near the yellow, of course. But he's playing for this one into the right corner. This just gets him down at the business end, in and around the black spot. Has he run too far? Can he get through to it? It's tight. Feels as though he can. Yeah, nicely played. So this is a good chance. He's already got a 36-point lead with the black to come, and the red's not too bad.
$17. 18.
No, he just nudged into the reds. I don't know if there's anything available. He has an angle on the black where he could stun into them. I mean, he'd rather just play for one of the open reds, but I'm not certain that there is one to play for. No, he had to play the cannon, and he couldn't have played it any better.
25.
Big favourite now for this frame. So Ronnie flew out of the block, so to speak, with an 82 in the first, but it looks like he's going to drop 2-1 behind. Oh, well, would you believe it? Would you believe it?
Marcus Campbell, 25.
Just when he'd done all the hard work, he misses a sitter.
Yeah, he chose to bring the cue ball back there. I don't know if he could have followed through for the black there, but certainly didn't expect him to miss it.
1.
So here's another little test for Ronnie to prove his match sharpness. He's been given a lifeline. Can he take it?
Nice angle on the red here. He'll be taking the red off the side cushion here.
7. Eight.
Just about okay. Always remember Eddie Charlton, the great Australian, said, never try to develop a red off a red, because you're never certain to be on the colour. Fair point, but oh, that was confidently played, wasn't it? Dear me, what a beautiful shot that was.
13.
It'd make anybody think twice about what to play there, but no hesitation.
14.
And as winning the last frame would have been a confidence booster for Marcus, Stephen, I think if Ronnie could pull this one out of the fire, it really boost his confidence. And that's the game of snooker. Taking your half chances and a little miss that will stick in the mind.
21.
Yeah, I always thought this was the most important thing to get back in your game. You know, when it was the start of the season, you had the summer off, the ability to pinch frames is when you know you're back. Ronnie's obviously had a year off, so these are the big tests if he's going to win this World Championship. I'm sure the red to the right-hand side pots in the right centre.
27.
You'd have to be right behind it, though. He'd probably play for it off the colour this time.
28.
Yeah, it's always deceiving. I don't know whether he decided to play the green and try and nudge the red away from the cushion. That's what he's tried to do, and he's played it, well, I was going to say played it perfect, but he's knocked it a little bit too far. I
31.
don't think it passes the blue, so he'll have to play it into this corner. Well played, well played. And now, just one good positional shot on this last red, and we have a new favourite for the frame.
$36. 37.
Perfect on the blue. So he needs up to and including the pink, just checking the scoreline. This will be a bit of a body blow for Marcus Campbell. When he
44.
played the cannon, opened the reds. And I must admit, I thought he was going to play the run through there rather than stun it. Typical Crucible, big cheers from the other side of the wall. But that just adds to the atmosphere. You've got to hold yourself together, which Ronnie's
51.
done absolutely superbly. Points are level, blue and pink, to pinch the frame.
56.
Good frame that was. Both players will have mixed emotions there. Ronnie O'Sullivan will be delighted. Marcus Campbell will be kicking himself. He had a chance to go 2-1, but now he's behind.
And this is certainly a decent workout for both men so far, isn't it? Now, this was the betting odds before play began this morning in this year's Betfair World Championship. And as you can see, it's Neil Robertson who's trying to win back-to-back major events. He won the China Open a few weeks ago. That was the last big tournament. So he has been installed as the 11-2 favourite. Mark Selby's going for that Triple Crown. That's the Masters, the UK and the World titles in the same season. Ronnie O'Sullivan has played once in a very minor event. He lost, and he's 6-1 second favourite. John, just assess these odds for us.
Well, you can see it's wide open. I mean, there's been 10 ranking events, 10 different winners. It's difficult to form a market. OK, Robertson's won the last one, so he deserves to be the favourite. But the interesting thing with O'Sullivan is you could have backed him at 10-1 to win this tournament last year when he was in full flow of playing in tournament situations. This year he's come here, hasn't played for 12 months, and he's 6-1.
Indeed.
So obviously somebody thinks he can win.
Well, yeah, quite a few people think he can win. 251 Marcus Campbell. And, you know, when we look at these odds, and in some respects, some of the players like Robertson and Selby, they're coming in with the attention firmly on Ronnie. Does that help or hinder their chances initially?
I think there's so much pressure or tension that manifests itself during the World Championship. I don't think it matters in the end. You just turn up for your match and press the button and hope that you're playing in form and you get more in form as the tournament progresses. But I always do think that being a course and distance winner here at the Crucible does help your calls. And so, you know, John Higgins at 11-1 was, he could make those odds look a bit stupid, and a couple of other players like Ali Carter could obviously have their says, being the distance.
Sean Murphy as well.
Yes, Sean Murphy. But Ronnie O'Sullivan there made an incredibly difficult clearance look like a walk in the park, and that augurs well for him for the rest of the tournament.
And he is in play.
Foul. Marcus
Not
Campbell.
only did he miss the pot by quite a distance, that's why he run through in off. If he'd have hit it correctly, then obviously the in-off wasn't on. But so just at the moment, his long game, not quite what he'd like.
Yeah, and even back when he was playing regularly, he was never happy with his long game. So he's missed a couple by a long way, and that, you know, it doesn't make you feel good inside. Puts more pressure on the next one that you get left.
One.
Well, unintentional kiss on the pink, but it's worked out nice. Wanted to avoid the pink, obviously, but it's not done him too much damage.
Lovely angle in the blue to go into the reds, but there's two reds that will go to the right corner next to the black. That's a perfect angle. And he's chose to place for the open one. A choice of three reds even here. It goes to the right corner, so
6. Seven.
Yeah, he just left himself a little bit too straight
14.
on that black, and he was trying to force up for the red to play for the black again, but I don't think he can do that, so there's a little bit of work to do with the cue ball here. This isn't straightforward.
15.
Catching the bump, leaving himself wrong side of the blue, doesn't help.
He's going to have to leave himself a bit of a tester here. The red to the right of the pink. I don't know if the pink pops to the left corner. That would be a chance of a positional shot. He could stun for the pink, or he can follow through off the side cushion for the black. You've got to cue these positively. They're just following through. When he's aiming down, looks like he's coming back for the blue. He aimed quite low in that cue ball, John, to say he was playing a follow-through.
Yeah, he played a little drag shot, didn't he? Trying to take the pace out of the cue ball by striking below centre, but he didn't take the pace out of the cue ball. And he's left himself very low on this black.
Yeah, he potted the red in the right-hand side of the pocket, didn't he? He potted it thick. That's why the cue balls landed up here. Has to make contact with the bunch to keep the break going. You can't say he never played that positively.
He did play it positively, but having flicked off the reds, you'd think, well, what's he going to be on? He's okay. He's coming in and out of balks somehow. Wanted to catch them a lot fuller than that, and had a little bit of unintentional right-hand side. It couldn't have worked out better. Well, he wouldn't have been hampered in an ideal world.
29.
So didn't make the most of his opportunity in the last frame. Needs to make amends here. Mid-session interval after this frame. Best of 19, of course, the first round matches. They'll play a 9, and then the remaining frames will be played this evening.
I think he has to play some sort of cannon here. I think he's got too much angle just to drop on the red, so probably the two reds that are together to the left of the pink, the higher one of those, half ball cannon on that. And played that well.
$35. $36.
Pink and black both in the open now. So this really is an excellent chance to score the match at 2-2. He probably knew before this match started that he was going to get chances. It's just all about taking them.
42. $43.
Well, he's playing for the pink. It's okay as though if he's got the right angle. Well, he's just off straight. Okay, he can run through and bring these reds into play, but it could go wrong. Well, he's just about got a cut, and I think
49.
he was playing for the pink, so he could just roll it in and play for one of the loose reds. He wasn't thinking about bringing other reds into play. There was no need. There was enough reds available, but this just about cuts.
$50.
So this blue to go 59 points in front, but still there'll be a possible 83 remaining, so he's a little bit away from the winning line. Couple of reds, couple of colours needed, and wrong angle on the blue. Good positional shot needed.
He's not played a good shot there.
55.
Where he didn't get in the cue ball enough. Played for this red to the left-hand side of the table to the left corner. Tried to get a lot more bottom and left-hand side on this cue ball, just didn't get into it at all. Still pots this red. It's risky. That's why he's not taking it.
Marcus Campbell, 55.
It's a nice lead, but they're disappointed not to have won the frame there. 2 or 3 shots ago, he was in perfect position.
Tentative attempt at the long red, but it was more concerned with getting that cue ball back to the baulk cushion, and he's made a pretty good job of it. Marcus won't really want to play safe off the 4 reds in the middle of the table. He doesn't want to bring those into play. So the red on the left-hand side of the table, you may see him just play a, well, just half ball, leaves the cue ball near the top cushion. That's what he's playing. As I say, those 4 reds in the middle of the table being tied up as they are suits him fine at the moment.
Yeah, and after what happened to him in the last frame, just puts a little bit more pressure on his safety shots.
Well, it was a terrific pot. Now the little run-up. These are testers. You've got to get tight.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
It's a bit edgy. Not really a trickle dead weight onto the brown there. But he's still give Marcus Campbell a slight problem here. You'd think just coming off the side cushion and resting into these 4 reds wouldn't be a problem. That's the sort of line. You just got to be careful you don't slide past them or hit the a little bit too hard. Well, is this hard enough? Is it going to reach?
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, well, certainly Ronnie will be asking him to have another go at that. And just looking at that line, it was just sliding past the red slightly.
Now you have to watch you don't overcompensate this time and hit it too hard.
Have a look at that, Marcus. Yeah, Ronnie?
Because if he hits this hard, opens the reds up and leaves Ronnie in, Ronnie goes favourite for the frame.
Well, has he left the red to the middle? Is there one to the right middle here? That was the problem, just overhit it slightly.
1.
Now, what a chance for Ronnie.
Yeah, as I said a minute ago, who'd you
8.
like your money to be on now for this frame?
9.
Much easier clearance this time, there's no safe reds.
16. 17.
Yes, and as Steve said in the studio after the last frame when Ronnie cleared up, you know, he made it look so easy, and it wasn't easy, it was awkward. This was really the only awkward red. He's played for it now. It's just imperative you get a good angle on the next colour, whether he plays for pink or blue.
24.
He's playing for the pink. Certainly the bottom red of the two will go to the right corner. I don't know whether the top one will. What a steal this would be. Bigger than the last one for me. Just got to sit there and suffer.
31.
It's horrible, isn't it? When you're in your chair, you've had a 50-point lead, you've made a mistake and your opponent's going to dish up. It's probably the worst feeling in snooker. Your opponent gets in at the beginning and makes a century, then fair enough. But when you've had your
38.
chance, it's horrible.
Yeah, and it all came about when he played for the pink and he just
39.
didn't leave himself the right angle. Now, I know he had an angle on the pink to play a cannon on the reds, but that was the last thing he wanted at the time. He just wanted to play for the reds that were in the open, and that would have been enough to win the frame. And just that fraction out with position, and it's cost him. Now, Ronnie isn't out of the woods yet, because this is a tricky little shot here, with the brown not being on its spot. If the brown was on its spot, it'd be a formality. It's just got to be careful this brown doesn't snooker him for the green.
46.
No problem.
Yeah, made sure it was gone too far, as you say, rather than snooker himself. I think this is a plain ball shot. Just follow through off the ball cushion for the brown into the same pocket.
Yeah, just trying to work out the scores here, but up to and including the pink needed.
49.
He has made his clearances look easy. His position play has never been in doubt.
Another example, a gimme of a pink to go into the mid-session interval with a 3-1 lead. 4 very interesting frames. 2, you could say that Marcus Campbell has handed on a plate to Ronnie, but Ronnie still had to take them. Marcus were going disappointed. Ronnie O'Sullivan, happy. 3-1 lead.
Please, thank you.
Yes, 2 terrific clearances to establish that lead, John. But, you know, from the opening exchanges, what can we gauge about the state of Ronnie's game and what, if anything, is rusty?
You could possibly, if you're picking nits, say a couple of long balls he's missed, both in the same corner pocket that he's gone to. That's it. About everything else, the 2 clearances are magnificent. Cue ball control, fantastic. Those frames are so important. I feel a bit sorry for Marcus Campbell. He's played very, very well in that session, and he's 3-1 behind.
Indeed, and he looks comfortable. He looks as if he's enjoying the experience, because so often, obviously, when you come into the Crucible, the nerves can play a big factor.
Yeah, and as I say, you probably look at it and think, well, I've never had a better chance of beating Ronnie. Hasn't played anything, so I think he's handled himself very well. Unfortunately, 50 and 55 just doesn't get the job done in one visit against O'Sullivan. I mean, he's had 2 clearances against him, which have just been fantastic. So he'd be kicking himself a little bit. OK,
goes in 1-3 behind. And I wonder what the gentlemen and ladies in the media room make of the opening exchange of this match, because Steve Davis is down there. What are they saying, Stevie?
Obviously from one legend on the snooker table to 2 legends of the media centre, Philip Studd from Radio 5 Line and Hector Nuns, for a snooker writer for many years. And firstly, Hector, what do you think about Ronnie O'Sullivan's inclusion in this? Has it made any difference to your job?
It certainly has, Steve. I think the thing with Ronnie O'Sullivan playing at the Crucible, obviously snooker fans follow the game all year round. They know all the players, but what Ronnie brings in is, perhaps like some people would watch the Olympics but not follow athletics. People watch Wimbledon but not follow tennis all year. Ronnie O'Sullivan playing at the Crucible brings in a whole different, wider sporting audience, and it's certainly made my life a lot easier selling that to papers who are competing with lots of other sports.
It's not just about Ronnie O'Sullivan. Obviously, he's playing a gentleman from Scotland, so more copy you sold to Scotland as well.
Well, absolutely right. No, huge interest in Marcus Campbell's prospects in this match in Scotland. I spoke to Stephen Maguire. The Scots are all pretty close. They all practice together, and I think they were all trying to big him up a bit this week, telling him how to tackle it. And I think the biggest advice they were all giving him was just try and stay with him in the face of any possible onslaught. I think we've just seen with the last couple of frames the onslaught might be coming, and it's vital for him that he has to hang in there.
Well, Philip, many wise people in snooker say no player's bigger than the game, but perhaps Five Live disagrees.
Well, we had an hour and a half long extravaganza previewing the tournament a couple of nights back. I'm not entirely convinced that would have happened if Rocket Ronnie hadn't been involved this year. But yeah, he brings an extra pizzazz, doesn't he, to any tournament he enters. He's the best player in the world, as he proved 12 months ago. And I think his absence has left a hole. And I think not just for us media, who are keen to follow him, but also for the other players. You know, they'll probably feel deep down inside that perhaps any of their achievements are slightly devalued by his absence. They're glad to have him back. It takes some of the heat off them. And of course, it's great for us. OK, thanks very much, lads. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, we heard from Ronnie O'Sullivan in an interview just before the match began. It was an interview that Ronnie gave us on Monday, and it was certainly worth listening to a little bit more of it, because he discussed, well, the reasons why he hasn't played over the last few months, and indeed what he's been up to over the last few months.
The idea of working on the farm was that it was in the forest that I used to run in. So I thought I'll get to the farm at like 8:30 in the morning, I'll do my run for 45 minutes or an hour, whatever it took me, come back, dry off, and help out at the farm. Because that was the only way it was going to get me to the forest by 8:30. I didn't want to work on a farm, I just picked the job that got me to the forest. So, you know, it was the farm, you know, I couldn't go and work in some building where I was in computers and IT, because that's just not for me, you know, I'm not interested in that. I just wanted to get out and keep my fitness levels up. And, but then after a while, that kind of just didn't work, so I thought, you know, I need something in my life, you know, to kind of give me the motivation to want to go and run, to keep fit and do that sort of stuff, because that's really what I love about my life. But then it came to a point where I thought, you know, it's important that I go to work, and whether that's playing snooker, whether it's doing something, I needed to go to work, and, you know, things never took off for me because I was looking to do other stuff away from snooker and find a new career, if you like. But it kind of never happened, and I got a bit scared, to be honest with you, and I just thought, you know what, if I leave snooker for much longer, that opportunity to go back might not be there. So I kind of came back to snooker with the mind of, I'm still looking for something else to replace snooker, but I won't take that blind faith leap or jump, whatever you want to call it, and totally disregard snooker. And I think, like I say, you know, with the changes that Barry's made to the game, I kind of thought, well, it allows me to come in at round one the same as everybody else in the majority of the tournaments. So it gives me an opportunity to play without having to qualify, because I wouldn't have been able to do that either, not at this stage of my career. The reasons for playing now are very, very different. And like you say, you know, there was people around me saying, oh, if you go back, it'll affect your brand. And I was like, ugh. That word brand, I understand it and I get it, but I've never been about a brand. I've always been about someone that just plays from my heart, who plays from instinct, and I don't plan nothing. You know, I don't say I'll do this and do that because I know it'll have this effect. Everything I do is from how I feel at that moment in time. And so, you know, I thought about the risk, yeah, and it did enter my mind, but I just thought, you know, the risk is that I lose first round and people say you shouldn't have come back and played. So what, in another 20 years are they going to be talking about that? I doubt it. All I see is that I've got an opportunity. You know, the last 2 months have been good for me, because I've been practicing, I've been getting away from home, I've had something to feel good about. You know, I've had a little bit of a purpose in my life, you know, and like I said, the self-esteem has come back. And when I'm out having a restaurant and mouldering a bit of food, I'm doing this, or I'm putting petrol in my car, I don't feel like I ain't got the money to pay for it. You know, I feel like I'm out grafting. I'm putting back. I'm having a go. You know, and as long as I'm having a go, then I don't really care. You know, and so it's just good to be back. But you know, as far as I don't know, you know, for me to, you know, talking about me winning it and being a favourite and second favourite, I don't know, mate. I don't know. And in some ways, it's sort of, I think it needs a player to come along and have the confidence to say, no, this is going to be my world title. I forget Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's 37. He's had a year out. He's the oldest world champion there was since Ray Reardon. Why is there no one out there saying, no, I'm the new governor, I'm the new daddy. It's his time's over. They kind of, no one seems to have that confidence to want to grab that mantle. So, you know, and I think that's why snooker was lacking, because there was no one there with the guts and the balls to say, you know what, this is my business, my game, you know, and so, you know, I don't know, mate. I just kind of think that they should be kind of backing themselves a little bit more and standing up to the plate a little bit more, rather than trying to make me the favourite. I mean, come on, I haven't played for a year. I mean, if they're still making me favourite, I haven't played for a year, then, I mean, these people need to get their head tested. My final parting was last year. In some sort of ways, I still see that as my way of saying thank you very much. That was the final chapter. Like I said, I had 20 years and I kind of struggled with my sport, if you like, but I stuck to it. And for me to finish playing the way I did last year and to have little Ronnie there, for me, it doesn't ever get any better than that. Even if I won 7, 8, 10 world titles, to me, that would be the most special one. Because of what had happened in the 3 or 4 year period, and how my life had changed, and how I just kind of went from one situation to another situation. I just didn't know whether I was coming or going. So to end it as I did was kind of, for me, was enough. I kind of sat back and went, can I be happy with my career? And I can go, you know what, I was happy with 4 world titles, I was happy with 4 UKs, and I was happy with 4 Masters. I can end there. Whether I fulfilled my potential or not, I thought I've put enough on the CV to go, look, might have not won as much, but I still didn't do too bad. So for me to kind of think about winning this year, if I won this year, it's never going to be as good as it was last year. No way in a million years. It's impossible. It'd be nice, don't get me wrong, but it can't. You know, that one just meant so much to me, to the point where I had a lump and I felt like choking up out there while I was clearing up, but I didn't, because I'm not a big one on looking back and thinking, oh look, he's crying. You know, I tried to hold back that, if you like, but I was, you know, there was when I was clearing up in that last frame, I was so emotionally charged inside that I don't know how I would together. I did, but I felt like just burst out crying, mate. You know, and you know, because it meant that much to me. I just couldn't believe how I was. You know, if you took me back 2 years and said like you're going to be there with Ronnie winning the world title, I'd have never believed you. It weren't ever going to happen. So for me to experience that after what I'd experienced before was just like unbelievable. So this year is just, I'm in a happy place. I've taken a year out. I've had a great year. I had a great year playing snooker. So I've had 2 good years after 2 horrendous years. So you know, this year is just about making a start. You know, and just kind of, you know, just having something to do in my life. But listen, it's going to be nice to come back, you know. Like I say, how long it lasts for, I don't know. You know, that's the exciting part. We just have to take one tournament at a time. Obviously, Sheffield's the first tournament, and you know, and if I'm good for the game, I'm good for the game. You know, and hopefully people will enjoy that and enjoy the experience and the ride that we're about to go on.
Well, that was a truly fascinating interview that Ronnie gave. What kind of perspective do you think his absence has lent him?
I do think it's a case of absence makes the heart grow fond. I think he's missed snooker. I mean, he's always been a good practicer, you know, and all this business about he doesn't like the game and in the past he doesn't. He's always put plenty of hours in practicing, and he's took himself up to Sheffield to the institute, the academy there, and he's been practicing with Peter Ebden, which is great match play practice, and he's gone there for hours, and he said he was enjoying being in there. I just genuinely think he's missed the game. He's trying not to put too much pressure on himself, which is the right way. He's not got any great expectations, he says, but the way he started the match he should have, because he's starting to look pretty good.
And the challenge to the players, almost goading them to say, come on, this is mine.
Yeah, the difficult thing with that is there's so many good ones, isn't there? I mean, we've seen 10 ranking events, 10 different winners. There's so many good players, and it's basically now on what form you're in that particular week, because there's so little between all of them. I think he's the best player when he plays at his best. I think all the other players know that. It's just a matter of when he's going to hit those heights this week.
Indeed, and he has said that it's not a goal of his to win this world title once again this year. But he has said, he's now 37, he has said that he'd like to win it in his 40s, when he's 40 years of age. So he's clearly thinking in the longer term, John.
Yeah, and he could do it as well because he does keep himself incredibly fit. You know, he does his run, he's back running again, which gives him his perspective for the snooker. You know, you've got to be physically and mentally fit for the 17 days that go on here. Listen, if he keeps playing the way he's playing at the moment, he's got to have a chance.
OK, well, lot to be decided over the coming hours, but hardly a sideshow. But second billing definitely this morning was the match on the other side of the wall. We've been hearing the trickle of applause and indeed some loud moments of applause from the other side of the wall, because it features the world number 13, Ricky Walden, and 34-year-old Michael Holt. Now, Ricky, who's from Cheshire, has been here twice before, yet to win a match at the Crucible. And we're going to dip into this one in the company of the 1997 world champion Ken Doherty and Willie Thorne. Walden's established a 2-0 lead, and this is frame 3.
Oh, what a fantastic opening red from Ricky Walden. Acquired really good cueing there, and he's on the black, and he'll be able to dislodge the red just directly above the black here. Well, that's worked out a treat. Fantastic shot, that.
For the people watching, Ken, obviously you played at this magnificent venue many, many times. When you're playing a 10 o'clock in the morning session,
9.
what was your schedule? What time did you get up?
Well, I'm sure both players certainly would have been up around the 7:30 mark. Get up, early breakfast, and maybe get out and get a little bit of fresh air, and of course get down here maybe for in around 9 o'clock. Get back practicing on that practice table just behind the arena here. We have about 3 practice tables out the back there, so they would have been down on trying to get up and waking up and freshen up as well. I think it's very important, Willie.
Did you ever, when you knew you got a 10 o'clock session, practice the week before, or was it 10 o'clock?
No, not really.
No? I did.
Did you?
I used to try and get my mindset, you know, for that kind of early start.
Didn't do you much good, though, did it?
Don't you just love Ken Doherty? Oh, my little effigy doll of Ken Doherty is coming out. There'll be pins going in all over the place.
$24.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
25.
Ricky Walden looking good again now, playing to the pink here, even though there's a couple of loose reds. Any kiss on the pink is good, long as it's not half ball. 3/4 ball, full ball will certainly be on a couple of reds. It's not one of the shots where you have to play into 100 mile an hour. You can actually stun into this pink and it'll work. That's what he's done. Didn't catch it quite full enough. Has he been lucky? He has. He's fortunate there. Caught the pink a little thin. He didn't screw into it like the players normally do to hold the white in the middle of the table, because he knew the reds were split, so he could just play into them a nice stun shot, open them up. Lucky to get onto this red, though.
31. Sure. Sorry. $36. $37. $44.
Yeah, just sizing up where he wants to leave the cue ball. Leave the cue ball somewhere exactly where the red is. Just stop the cue ball dead. Nice angle now on the black. Now, if he goes into the pack on the right-hand side, from as we look from the black, even if he doesn't bring any reds into play, he still has this red over the right-hand corner pocket. And that's exactly what he's done. You've seen where the cue ball has gone. He's brought the one red into play. And always have to be on the right-hand side.
52.
Going into the reds there.
$53.
Looks like he's cueing really, really well. Ricky Walden, nice and fluent.
$60.
Break goes to 60. He'll be careering into a couple of reds there around the pink, so need a bit of luck with the positional play. Well, I thought he was going to have to go up for the blue, but he's managed to hold it for the black, and that was controlled nicely.
Nice to watch Ricky, isn't he, when he gets in the balls? He, as we mentioned earlier in the first frame, he gets on with it. He tries to win a frame at one visit. He doesn't try and get 20 and before he takes a risk. He'll take a risk early on in a break
68.
to bring reds into play. He's got the frame at his mercy again now. That blue will live in his mind for a few moments just yet. Got to get rid of that thought of missing that frame ball virtually.
69. $76. $77.
Nice little shot. That gives him a good chance for a century now, because in moving this red, of course, it opens the other two.
83.
Excellent stuff. This match has been very good. It looked like being a bit scrappy, didn't it, the first frame?
84.
Took virtually 10 minutes to get into some sort of open play. It was very tied up, and since then it's been superb.
Yes, he made a break of 76 in the first round. Ricky Walden should have made a century. Missed a relatively easy green. Break of 55 in frame 2, and we're on 90 and counting here.
$97.
Possible 140 here, will he? Set a certain mark for the rest of the players.
Yes, it'd be a good break, wouldn't it? I expect at least 145 to win the highest break. I'd be surprised if it's less than that.
There's the applause for a century, and what a wonderful break it was, with the cue ball in the perfect position at all times.
106.
I think gives you a thrill more. OK, all the centuries you make in other tournaments around the world, but to make a crucible century always gives you that extra buzz.
$150.
And Betfair have put a very unusual prize up as well as the money for the highest break, a golden cue.
Be a nice prize for somebody.
122. $127.
Well, it doesn't matter who you're playing.
133.
If you're playing as well as Ricky is at the moment, you can beat anybody. Started with a 76, then a 55, and a magnificent break, which could actually be a tournament winner. A break of 140. Ricky Walden sprints into a 3-0 lead.
And that has since become 4-0 to Walden there at their interval. And as the guys were saying, Ricky Walden with a chance for the high break prize, a golden cue this year. Much more about that. Now, don't forget you can continue to watch that match online. It is available to you via the BBC website very shortly when they return. But now we will cross to the other side of the dividing wall inside the Crucible Arena, because we have 5 more frames to play this morning in this opening match featuring the defending champion Ronnie O'Sullivan and Marcus Campbell. And it's Ronnie who's established a 3-1 lead already. And remember, this is his first major match since, well, departing this very arena almost 12 months ago with World Championship trophy in hand. OK, Stephen and John, all yours.
Yes, thank you, Hazel. Well, we've certainly seen some good snooker from both players, really. Marcus Campbell will be kicking himself that he's 3-1 behind, but it's all to play for. and 5 very important frames coming up.
Yeah, after winning that second frame so well, Marcus, he got a huge boost of confidence, and he could have easily won the 2 frames after it. Could have been him that was 3-1 up. As we said, 2 great clearances from O'Sullivan to pinch the frames, and to me that was the biggest indicator of his chances in this World Championship so far in this match. The fact they can do that, pinch those frames so easily. A long way to go. Bit of pressure on this red. Reds are well spread. And he's not got a great angle to be able to force the cue ball. I don't think he can get the cue ball back to baulk. So if he takes his pot on, he'll be going for 100%.
Yeah, it's risky. And is there any reward? Well, I didn't see that one coming. He did get the cue ball back to the baulk end, but whether he would have done if he'd have potted the red or not is another matter. But
Marcus Campbell, 1.
He's got second prize.
Yeah, the only reason the cue ball came back is because he missed that red thin. He did have an opportunity to pot the green into the middle and screw off a couple of cushions, but chose to keep it tight, which I think is the right shot with the reds being spread the way they are. Not easy to get this safe.
No, just looking at the situation, you always look to see if there's a point where you can hit to not leave a pot on, but it's not easy to see. It's just a 2-cushion escape with pace. Now he's trying to nestle into one. He thinks he can get this safe just by playing the nestle. Now, is it safe? Does that red just below the pink go to the left middle? If it does, can he see enough of it? Definitely goes, but obviously can't see enough. That's why he's playing safe, so Ronnie will be happy that he didn't leave a pot on there. There's the average shot time, 14 seconds for Ronnie. That's quick, isn't it? Well, the one thing at this level you don't want to be doing when you're playing safe is catch your baulk colour. So there's a possibility of a pot here, red to the right corner. But he's just going to avoid running into other reds if he's playing it. Well, very close, but found a nice path for the cue ball, and he's got a decent length, so all in all, you'll be happy with the outcome. Better line, but a little bit heavy. Coming round, see if he's left anything, because he's left Marcus with his hand on the table, just over the 1 hour. And it's been a very interesting start to this first round match for the defending champion.
Yeah, Ronnie's first target in this little mini session was to get to 5. And at least he knows he'll have a lead going into tonight's second session. And of course, if he does get to 5 with more frames to play, try and open up as big a lead as possible.
Once again, catching a baulk colour. But you see this happen so many times with a little bout of safety. Red's gone near the cushion. The black there, though, is slightly in the open. The pink, obviously, is available. Blue's on its spot, so any mistake on the safety could be costly. A very good white, but as he covered the red to the right corner. Must have done, yes, just about covered it. Well, the thing is for Ronnie, he's got to cover the path to that red near the right corner. It's not a certainty. Much too thin, but as the yellow helped the situation, it has. Hit the wrong red there. That wasn't the red he intended to hit, it was the one above it. Trying to hit it thin and missed it. It's not the best chance, this. As I say, he played to hit that one thin, the one just above it, and then of course having missed that, caught the other one half ball.
1.
It's a good chance to score, win the frame at this visit. Well, that'll be hard to do. Depends where this pink goes after it's re-spotted. Ronnie, of course, very alert in the break building, making certain he was potting that pink and leaving room for the pink to go in, like it appears, both corners, both middles.
$14. 15.
Yeah, this is actually quite a good chance now. Pink's in the open, pots into all 4 pockets, both middles and both corners. So not really bothered at the moment that the black's tied up. Plenty of reds to play for.
$21. 22.
Just got into that cue ball a little bit more than he intended, a little bit more side. Didn't plan to be as close to this red with his cue. And got a kick there.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 22.
Yeah, sounded a heavy contact. Yep, no doubt about it. But I don't think there's any damage done.
Yeah, because of the kick, the cue ball didn't travel in its original path, and that's why it's ended up where it is.
Didn't really make the most of that opportunity there, Marcus. There's a good target there behind brown and pink. I'm not saying he's left Ronnie the easiest shot because he's going to be slightly hampered by the green. But a snooker would have been a lot better. Ronnie does have a safety shot here. He can get through to the red that's just to the left of the black. But of course, if he does that, he's got to be careful he doesn't knock one over the right corner. So he's playing the one just below the blue. He's got to catch this very thin. Didn't catch it quite thin enough. That's why the cue ball ran out of pace and finished on the baulk line rather than the baulk cushion. But Marcus now deciding to play safe off that red, just to the left of the black. That brings the black into play, and well, once again didn't make the most of that opportunity. Well short of pace. There's a good chance once again to put Ronnie in trouble.
Yeah, he was opening everything up, wasn't he? And then, as you say, it was a big target to get in behind the brown and pink.
Just caught the bump of the middle pocket, but it's not too bad. Left himself the blue to the far right corner.
Well, he's got into that too well, I think. I don't think this is a red he played for. If he's on the red to the right of the black spot.
Yeah, he's a little bit disappointed. As you say, I think he just got into it too much. I can't believe he played for this red.
He must have been playing for the red that's closest to the right corner, because if he got on that, he could actually play for the black.
So I think that look on Ronnie's face telling you he's going to have to bite the bullet. Just cued it too well. So can he get in behind the brown and pink here?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
No. He'd be a bit disappointed there. That was half a chance to build up his lead in this frame. Didn't make the most of it.
It was a better safety that time by Marcus Campbell.
That's a good length. That's an excellent length, and it puts a little bit of pressure now on this safety shot from Ronnie. Makes all the difference if you can stop your opponent from putting his hand on the table. Well, it was that good that Ronnie decided not to risk playing the cue ball back to the baulk end. Now, has he left anything? Don't think so. Well, considering he was so close to that red, he'll be disappointed not to have found the baulk cushion there.
He never plays safeties like with top spin playing ball running, does he? Always likes to hit down in the cue ball, play with side.
Yeah, I suppose sometimes you just feel as though you got a little bit more control, but as we know on these super fine cloths, you just overhit it a little bit, and then the side never has a chance to take effect. I think the yellow's making things awkward here for Marcus if he was to play a pot. Got to hit this one very precise. Well, in the end, hello. Well.
One.
That's the second good fluke he's had. A little smile from Ronnie.
Yellow. Marcus Campbell,
Well,
one.
he only got one for the fluke, but it certainly put him in a good position. And Ronnie now with a problem. Yeah, I've always thought that about snooker. Somebody flukes a ball, apologises, and next thing they snooker you. Just got to hit this right. Got to hit it. Well, he hit it. And I suppose it could have been worse, because this isn't an easy red to pot, and it's very, very risky. Should he miss it?
Yeah, and I think it makes it more difficult. He's got to play it with some pace to get on a colour. It'd be a comfortable shot if the black was on its spot. But the fact that he's got to hit it a bit harder. I feel he's got to take it on, but no. It's still a big target up there for snookers, I suppose.
Excellent shot. Good length. I don't know whether or not there's a chance here to be able to pot this red. That red there, if he can play and pot this, he might have a path back to the baulk end. Well, certainly by hitting it too thin, and I think that was the aim. Make certain you got back to the, or near the baulk cushion. But not tight enough, and a chance for Ronnie here. Well, 75% for Ronnie, that's good. Wasn't too far away with that, but it didn't go in, so this is half a chance now. for Marcus. One good pot. The black's available. There's only 26 points in it.
One.
Sacrificed a little bit of positional side of the shot there by making certain the pot, but I don't blame him for that. There's no baulk colours on the spots, stopping him going in there the baulk comfortably.
Sure. 8.
A little bit too close to the cushion really for comfort here. If the black doesn't go into the right corner, which I don't think it does, then he's going to have to go up for blue or yellow, and where the cue ball is, that's not going to be easy. Digging in. All things considered, good shot.
Yeah, this was a great shot. Never easy playing the shots like that, and he's got a nice angle in this yellow now to come back down for the reds. He can play a cannon, or he can play for the loose red to the right of the black. I think he's got such a good angle. I'd be playing the cannon.
Yeah, it's either the cannon or... The only thing with the cannon, the black might get in the way of the cannon, mightn't it? So maybe he'd play for the circle. No, he's played the cannon. There's the cue ball going. Well, it could have finished worse.
11.
It was a good positive shot, though. There's a path. The red that's slightly below the black, there's a path there between that and the three that are together. So we round off 2 cushions. Well, I don't know if he played that, but it's worked out well.
Yes, he'll be pleased with that result. Can't believe he played that cannon.
Well, he didn't make any apologies to Ronnie, so I presume he did play the cannon, so it was a great shot.
Just 7 points behind now, but a lot of work to do. Those 3 reds tied up near the side cushion are going to be the key.
20.
And he's not hit this hard enough.
Just looking to see if he pots the black and follows the cue ball off the black cushion, what sort of cannon he's going to get on that open red. He'd like to cannon at half ball on the left-hand side. Digging in again, though.
Yeah, it was one of them. I don't think he fancied the black, did he? And it was one of those, it was a difficult black, and you just felt, well, I'm playing a difficult shot here, and there's not much chance of getting position on the next red, so... Didn't really play it with a lot of positivity, but what he had done was left Ronnie close to the reds so he could play a good safety. My old colleague, a great player, 3 times champion of the world, John Spencer, would have said, that was a fine shot. Now, if he misses the yellow, this could be very good. It's very good.
Thank you.
Shouldn't be any problem coming off a couple of cushions to land in underneath these two reds on the black cushion.
Okay. Look from the baulk end of the table, and yes, he is snookered. You just got to be careful he didn't slide past this. I agree with you, Stephen. It's not too difficult a shot, but just got to get the pace right, and this looks good. Well played. For the first time, someone's got inside the green. How many times have we seen someone try to play that shot and just got the wrong side of the green? Ronnie's played that absolutely perfect. He'll do well not to leave a pot on here, Marcus. He's 6 points behind, but he knows that if he leaves a pot for Ronnie here, it could be end of frame. He's in a spot of bother. Well, is it the old hit and hope? See, normally you could think of coming off two cushions, but I think the blue might be in the way of that one. Let's see if we can get a line to see where you'd have to go. Possibility, but I just feel that you think you'd be getting too close to the blue. I think it's the hit and hope, this. He's hitting it hard, hoping for the best. And unless there's a gap there, he couldn't hope for much better. Tracer left-hand side, might just be able to turn this one in. He could. Concentrating that much on the pot. Just overdone it. Always tricky, these type of shots. We what they call playing into a blind pocket. You see the cue ball, the object ball, but the pocket's not in your eye line. Got to pick out the spot on the black. Played it nicely. Decided not to do too much with the cue ball. Played the cannon. Now this tricky red, and they're always tricky, these. Could be the frame winner. They're always tricky. Never take those for granted. But what a chance. He's let go begging.
One.
Sometimes happens, doesn't it, when you're in these long, scrappy frames, your concentration can lapse a little bit. This is by far the longest frame of the match, almost half an hour. You see, coming up for 29 minutes, so it's not easy to keep your mind sharp, but so I didn't expect Ronnie to miss that, as Marcus misses a cannon on the red.
Yeah, he didn't fancy playing the red along the cushion, did he? And thought, I'll take a chance and try and develop the red, but it's gone wrong. Well, there's still quite a bit of snooker in this frame.
Marcus Campbell, 8.
Always knew he'd be taking the cue ball to the baulk end there. Just interested in potting the red rather than position. And he's left Ronnie with a problem here. This red that's close to the top cushion. Got to hit these just right to get back to the baulk end. Tough shot, this. Well, he's made a very good effort of it. And but for the kiss on the yellow, it may have been safe, but as it is, this red's on to the left corner. I'd be disappointed with that. And I don't think the yellow has actually come to his rescue. I think this red cuts into the right middle. I know he may be running to the red near the black, but concentrate on the pot. Well, in the end, he didn't play the pot. He didn't play the pot. Well, he'll be pleased with the result. He's kissed the yellow a few times and hasn't done him any favours. It did there.
The red down the side cushion would be easy, left-handed again if the black was on its spot, but the fact he's got to play with power, that's why he's refusing it. This isn't easy.
Yeah, that's an example of what we always talk about. When you're tight under the cushion, and particularly playing at pace, which he had to, difficult.
Yeah, we're aiming at the extreme top of the cue ball. Any bit of side on there exaggerates. He just pulled the cue ball over to the left-hand side. That's why he missed it thin.
This frame now coming up to its 33rd minute, and it's been quick fire snooker prior. 8 minutes nearly the first frame, 18.5 minutes a second, 14.5 the third, 15.5 the fourth, and now it's really slowed down, but that might quicken it up a bit. If he gets a bounce, he could be on the black. Don't think it's bounced far enough, and the blue, well, hampered by the yellow and, I'm sorry, the pink and brown, wouldn't really tempt you. Well, that was a clever shot. When he said green, I thought, what's happening here? But of course he knew, just coming off the side cushion, it's in the green, certain snooker. Good thinking, well played.
I think, John, I'd have played some sort of shot to open the balls up there if I was in Marcus's shoes.
Foul.
It was a clever shot playing the green, but everything's still tied up, isn't it?
Yeah, but, you know, as we've seen so many times, you know, with the misrule being as harsh as it is, you know, you could get quite a few points now. But yeah, there's an opportunity to at least bring the pink and brown into play. Is Ronnie better this time? No.
Foul. You miss. Marcus Campbell 4.
And the one thing Ronnie wants to do, he wants to come in and get into this. I mean, he's had a few. Well, he's concerned about obviously going into the pocket. That's the line he's looking for. That's the line, but he's got to get close to the corner pocket. Made the same mistake again, I feel.
Foul. And a miss. Marcus Campbell.
And I do believe, with the misrule being brought in as strictly as it has been, that does encourage people, particularly on the last red, to play a snooker rather than maybe go for a risky pot. There's so many points you can accumulate. This is better.
Yeah, they had a chance the last time, Marcus, to pot the red. You know, the black's fairly close to the corner pocket. Could have gotten the black. Perhaps a bit of cannon on the pink to leave himself on the yellow. But as you say, you can earn so many points. I think that's what made him turn it down.
So Ronnie now trails by 7 points, but there's still quite a bit of work to be done by either player, should they get an opportunity. Much too thick, that, from Ronnie. Much too thick. And this is half a chance here if Marcus decides to take this pot on. Quick glance at the scoreboard. Shows him he's 7 points in the lead. Eyeing up the potting angle. I think he'll be taking this on.
One.
Good pot. Just flicked the green, which makes it difficult now in queuing for the blue he'd like to have played. I think just to roll up to the brown here, play the snooker.
Brown. Marcus Campbell one.
I'd have tried to have avoided leaving Ronnie the option of going up and down the table here. Yeah, this should be easy to hit. Can he get it safe? Can he hit it?
The miss.
Well, miss will be called, but I
Campbell
can't
7.
believe that Marcus will take the miss. So 15 points the lead. Still not a formality. Straight on this yellow, and he needs the yellow, green and brown.
Yeah.
Well,
Brendan, please.
He's having it replaced. I am surprised.
Yeah, I think the only thing is dead straight on the yellow, and he can't get the cue ball close to the green. If he just stuns the yellow in, he's left with a horrible shot.
Yeah.
If he had an angle in the yellow, he'd definitely take it on.
Look at that, Ronnie. Yeah. Marcus. Thank you. Thank you, Brent.
So that's where they were, and that's where they are now. Looks about perfect. Well done, Jan Verhaas. There's always a likelihood you could pot this yellow, you know. But the speed he played it first time around, he wasn't thinking of that. He's missed it again.
Foul. The miss. Marcus Campbell 7.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, he seems to be putting more right-hand side on than perhaps. I don't know if he's putting more on than he's intended to put on, or...
I think when you're playing at that pace, you expect it just to check a little bit off the cushion. Maybe he was expecting it to check, and it never really did. But he made the same mistake as he did the first time, and now no replacing, because Marcus Campbell needs yellow and green. And coming up to the 40th minute, Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't play many frames of this duration.
Wants to make sure he gets nice and close to the screen. Oh, he's stunned it too much. Is he still on it?
2.
Well, if he is on it, if he can see the green, he's been fortunate there. Well, he can, as you see, just whether he'll fancy playing the pot or not, I don't know, but I didn't see any reason there just to not leave the cue ball along the board cushion. He only needs the green. It's not easy now.
I think that's why he was trying to get so close to the green. He can play this as a shot to nothing. He only needs the green. Bring the cue ball back up the table. Green should come away from the pocket if he misses it.
Marcus Campbell 2.
Didn't play it with too much conviction.
No, he didn't. And that was a great opportunity. He's let go begging. He looked more interested in getting the cue ball up to this end of the table, which he's done, but missed the green by a long way. 24 points behind, 25 remaining. And this looks very good from Ronnie. Couldn't be better.
Thank you, Marcus. I've seen it. Thanks.
It messes your mind up, doesn't it, this game, when he's just had a great opportunity to win the frame and he comes back to the table snookered. Well, it's a good hit, but the green's not safe. And it's all about now one good positional shot from green to brown. And if he can get on the brown, frame's at his mercy.
Now, will he play two cushions with a bit of right-hand side, or just play up and down the table? I think Ronnie Rose prefers to play with a bit of side, hitting the ball more positively, so I think it'll be two cushions for the brown.
Yeah, I think the one thing with this shot, you just got to be careful you don't get into it a bit too much and going off in the corner pocket. You don't expect him to make that silly mistake. Oh, he's played this perfect.
3.
Could not have put that better with his hand. Now all he needs in potting the brown is a good angle on the blue. And this will really hurt
7.
Marcus.
Quiet, please.
He'll be thinking, how many frames am I going to throw away? So pink and black for a 4-1 lead.
$18.
And make the 43 minutes that this frame has taken worthwhile.
25
In it goes, and Marcus Campbell will be absolutely disgusted with the opportunity he had, which he missed. And Ronnie O'Sullivan stretched his lead to 3. Now 4-1 in front.
Please, thank you.
Well, certainly a tale of 3 clearances so far, all of them by Ronnie O'Sullivan, and it's established a 4-1 lead. Now, we will be back very shortly on BBC One at 1 o'clock. Don't forget to fire up the laptop or indeed the tablet or the smartphone, because live coverage will continue via the BBC website now. But we'll catch you at 1 o'clock again. Okay, bye for now.